Hello everyone. Today we're looking at The Martian, more specifically the research going into the Martian paper. Today we're going to be looking at some of the critics. Most of the critics do not complete the overarching idea and narrative in this story. They get parts, pieces, and some of the ideas right, but they do not cohesively put together the overarching theme in The Martian. For example, this guy right here in his pretty recent journal talks about survivability and optimism in The Martian. This guy in 2017 discussed the psychological impacts of survivability and adaptation to change in The Martian. And this guy in 2019, with others, talked about optimism, its effects, and how it affected Mark and everything else. So a lot of the critics and a lot of the scholarly journals on The Martian, they kind of miss out on the main idea of human nature. Human nature is the fundamental element in The Martian, and it's kind of missed in all these journals. So here's the first one. This guy or these people primarily just focus on optimism in the story of Mark. This guy focused on the survivability and adaptation of Mark's character, as well as some of the psychology behind it. This guy, he focuses on optimism and how it's reflected throughout the novel and how it's reflected in the real world, or these individuals. And this group, in their journal, they talk about the heroism of Mark and why it makes him a hero and that journey, which is also a reflexive of human nature. And this guy, he goes more in depth into Mark's character, the psychology, and what the character means in the story. I'm not gonna touch on this one too much. But a activity for you guys. In his 2017 journal, the spirit of survival of Mark Watney, reflected in Andy Weir's The Martian novel, he addresses the characteristic and psychological impacts of survivability and adaptation to change. Do you see yourself as a person who adapts to change? And do you think you would have the psychological drive to survive? Think of Mark Watney's Stranded on Mars.